What if I told you that chasing women is the #1 way most men ruin their potential? That the harder you try to please her, the less she respects you? And what if I told you she was never the prize, you were? That's not just harsh truth, it's ancient wisdom. In this video, I'm going to reveal 5 brutal truths about women, backed by Stoic philosophy, that every man needs to hear. These are hard pills to swallow, but they'll free your time, your mind, and your focus. Truth number 1 will slap you awake. Truth number 3 will hurt if you've ever fallen in love. And truth number 5, that one changes everything. So stay locked in. Miss 1 second, and you miss the point. Number 1, women don't respect men who put them first. And no, this isn't about being cruel or indifferent. It's about understanding how human nature actually works. When a man centers his world around a woman, making her his top priority, he unknowingly sends one loud, unspoken message: my time has less value than yours. Think about it. When you're always available, always texting first, always rearranging your life for her, what does that signal? Not strength, not leadership. It signals lack of purpose, lack of mission, lack of backbone. The man who lives to impress her eventually disgusts her, because deep down, no one respects someone who abandons themselves to win approval. Marcus Aurelius didn't say, make someone else your purpose. He said, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. He didn't chase love or affection. He pursued virtue, excellence, and inner stability. And those are the exact qualities that attract both respect and admiration. That's the mindset we've lost. The moment you prioritize a woman over your mission, you start to bend. You delay your goals. You lose discipline. And she senses it, even if she can't explain it. And here's where it gets real. She might enjoy the attention at first, but the moment she realizes you've made her your god, she'll start looking for someone who hasn't. Because biologically, women aren't drawn to the man who needs her. They're drawn to the man who doesn't need anyone. Harsh? Maybe. But that's nature. A man who knows where he's going and doesn't flinch when he's alone commands respect. This isn't about becoming cold. It's about becoming centered. When your core is strong, your emotions don't get hijacked. And that stability? It's magnetic. When a woman feels that you can walk away at any moment to protect your peace, she sees you differently, not as weak, but as rare. And it's not about playing games. It's about having a life so full of purpose, discipline, and conviction that no one can shake your center. If she's your priority, you become disposable. But when your purpose is your priority, everything changes. So here's the challenge. Look at your time, your schedule, your mind. Is it dominated by her or by your mission? Because women don't respect men who put them first. They respect men who put themselves first and still choose them second. That's power. That's what the Stoics lived by, and it's what you must remember, starting today. Number 2. Emotional control is more attractive than chasing. Women aren't attracted to how much you chase them. They're attracted to how much control you have over yourself. Let that sink in. Modern men think, if I show her how much I care, if I pour my emotions out, if I prove my loyalty, she'll love me more. But that's not how it works, because the more emotionally exposed and reactive you become, the more predictable, needy, and frankly repulsive you become. The Stoics had a word for this kind of emotional chaos: slavery. Epictetus said, no man is free who is not master of himself. You can lift all the weights, get all the money, wear the flashiest clothes, but if your emotions are weak, you're still not attractive. You're unstable, you're impulsive, and worst of all, you're easy to manipulate. Women don't want a man they can control. They want a man who can control himself, especially under pressure. Because life will test you. She will test you. And when you fail those tests with emotional outbursts, begging, or constant reassurance seeking, it tells her, this man cannot even handle his own mind. Think about how most guys behave when a girl pulls back. They panic. They overtext. They beg. They spiral. That's not strength. That's emotional dependence. Now contrast that with a man who remains calm. The one who doesn't flinch when she gets cold. The one who doesn't chase when she pulls away. That's power. Because he's not performing for her. He's performing for his higher self. And that stillness, that calm under pressure, it drives her crazy in the best way. Because she knows you're not like the rest. Here's the truth. The most powerful form of attraction is restraint. It's not about pretending you don't care. It's about actually being so grounded in your purpose that nothing external can shake you. You don't get emotional over texts. You don't lose sleep over someone else's mood swings. You don't sacrifice your dignity for temporary validation. Your energy becomes rare. Your presence becomes a mystery. And mystery is magnetic. Women can sense when a man has emotional gravity, when he's anchored in something deeper than her. That's when she leans in. That's when she respects you. So the next time you feel like blowing up her phone, chasing closure, or explaining your worth, don't. Breathe. Hold frame. Stay silent. Walk with stillness. Because the man who controls himself never has to chase. He simply becomes the one worth chasing. Number 3. She is not your purpose. She was never supposed to be. But somewhere along the line, you were taught that love is the ultimate goal, that the right woman will complete you, that without her, you're not enough. That idea? It's not love. It's emotional addiction. You made her your reason to wake up, your reason to hustle, your reason to grow. But what happens when she walks away? Everything collapses, because your purpose was never real. It was borrowed from someone else. This is why so many men lose themselves after a breakup. It's not just heartbreak, it's identity loss. You didn't lose her. You lost you because your life revolved around her. But the Stoics knew better. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Just that you do the right thing, the rest doesn't matter." They understood that your purpose as a man must be internal, not external, driven by character, by principle, by legacy. When a woman becomes your mission, you live in constant fear of losing her. But when your mission is your mission, you become untouchable. You become dangerous, in the best way. Look around today. How many men are depressed, anxious, broken? Not because of life, but because of a woman who left. And it's not her fault. It's his. For putting the weight of his entire existence on someone who never asked to carry it. This isn't about rejecting love. It's about realigning your priorities. Love can be beautiful. Companionship can be powerful. But it should never come at the cost of your identity. Because when your purpose is rooted in something eternal, something that doesn't change with feelings or moods, you become a rock in a world full of sand. And you want to know the irony? The moment you stop making her your reason for everything is the moment she becomes more drawn to you. Why? Because now you're not looking for completion. You're whole on your own. And wholeness is rare. Wholeness is powerful. A man on his mission doesn't chase. He doesn't need to prove himself. He builds, he creates, he grows. And if she wants to walk beside him, cool. If not, he keeps walking. That's not arrogance. That's alignment. So if you've been waking up every day thinking about her, stop. Start thinking about what you were born to do. Because no woman can give you purpose. That comes from within, from discipline, from pain, from choosing your path and walking it relentlessly. She's not the prize. She's the companion. You are the prize when you're living in alignment with your mission. So take her off the pedestal, place your purpose there, and build a life so powerful that even if she leaves, your path stays strong. Because real men don't lose themselves for love. They find themselves through purpose. Number 4. Female validation is a drug. Let's talk about addiction, not to substances, to something far more dangerous and far more common: female validation. This is the fourth brutal truth. Most men today are hooked on the approval of women and don't even know it. It starts with a like, a smile, a compliment, a bit of attention. And suddenly, your day feels better. You feel seen. You feel wanted. You feel alive. But here's the catch. Like any drug, it fades. And once it does, you'll do anything to get another hit. You text again. You post more. You wait for her reply like it's oxygen. And in that moment, you've given away the one thing a man should never surrender: your inner peace. The Stoics warned against this long ago. Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." And validation from others? That's one of the most uncontrollable forces in existence. You chase her attention. She withholds it. You chase harder. She loses respect. And now you're trapped, a slave to someone else's approval. This is how modern men get stuck in a loop. She compliments you, dopamine spike. She ignores you, dopamine crash. And the brain wants more, not love, not connection, just another hit. But here's what Stoic philosophy teaches us. The wise man builds his confidence from within. He doesn't need a woman's words to validate his worth because he's already chosen himself. The minute you stop seeking female validation is the minute you become powerful. Not because you hate women, but because you no longer depend on them to feel whole. A man who controls his validation sources is dangerous. Why? Because he can't be manipulated. He can't be lured. He doesn't fall for fake affection or emotional games. He's grounded, focused, free. So here's the action step. Start observing how often you crave her attention. Notice when your mood rises and falls based on her reactions. And then, cut the cord. Reclaim your emotional independence. Because female validation isn't love. It's a temporary high that leads to a lifetime of weakness, unless you choose to detox. Real validation comes from purpose, discipline, and the silent confidence of a man who doesn't need applause to know he's winning. Number 5. Most relationships are a distraction from your mission. Most men don't need a girlfriend. They need silence. They need solitude. They need space to remember who they are and what they're here to build. Because here's the brutal truth. Most relationships today aren't partnerships. They're distractions. You start with goals. You start with fire. But somewhere between the daily calls, the constant texting, and the emotional roller coasters, your edge gets dulled. And the mission? It fades. The Stoics had no tolerance for distraction. They lived with a single focus: to master themselves and fulfill their potential. Marcus Aurelius ran an empire, while journaling his thoughts by candlelight to keep his inner world in order. Do you think he had time for petty arguments and endless validation loops? Look around. How many men abandon their grind just to maintain a relationship that's draining them? How many give up the gym, drop their routines, sacrifice ambition, just to avoid conflict or make her feel secure? Here's what you need to understand. Your mission isn't optional. It's sacred. It's the one thing that gives meaning to your suffering, direction to your days, and pride to your soul. And anything or anyone that constantly pulls you away from it isn't helping you grow. It's holding you back. That doesn't mean you need to swear off relationships, but you need to be ruthless about what gets your time and energy. A healthy relationship should align with your mission, not derail it. She should challenge you to grow, not babysit your potential. Real masculinity is built in quiet rooms, early mornings, lonely nights, the grind no one sees, and the discipline that no one claps for. When you chase comfort, you get weak. When you prioritize peace over purpose, you lose your edge. And when you choose a woman over your path, you forfeit everything you were meant to become. Ask yourself, is your relationship sharpening your mind or dulling your hunger? Is it making you more focused, more driven, or more passive? Because if it's not making you a stronger man, it's robbing you of one. Protect your mission like your life depends on it. Because it does. These truths aren't designed to make you bitter. They're designed to make you unbreakable. Because once you stop letting your world revolve around women and start revolving it around your mission, everything sharpens. Your energy shifts. Your priorities realign. Your confidence becomes untouchable. You stop needing attention to feel alive. You stop folding for approval. You start standing for something deeper. This is what the Stoics taught. Control yourself, and you control your world. Waste your time chasing what you can't control, and you lose both your peace and your power. This isn't about becoming emotionless. It's about mastering your emotions so they serve your mission, not sabotage it. It's not about isolation. It's about elevation. You don't shut love out, but you refuse to let it hijack your destiny. Because real strength isn't loud. It's still. It's the man who keeps showing up, who trains when he's tired, who builds when no one's watching, who protects his mind like his life depends on it. Because it does. You are not here to chase. You are not here to beg. You are here to build, to lead, to embody a deeper code. That's the Stoic way. If this message hit home, don't just nod and move on. Sit with it, reflect on it, then act. Like the video, subscribe to the Stoic way, and live like the man your future demands. Because if you thought this video made you stronger, the next one might wake you up. You will never be respected. If you constantly do these 5 things, Stoic philosophy. Respect isn't something you ask for, it's something you command. But chances are you're breaking your own power without realizing it. And when you hear the 5th point, you'll never tolerate the same things again.